This is your top 60 and 60 watch list as Hans and Scotty get you ready for the start of the 2025 college football season by highlighting the most influential players on their team for the upcoming season. And now,
get the call, baby! Come on, let's go!
Here's today's newest addition to the watch list.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is time for our top 60 in 60 watch list, where we count down the best players in the state of Utah. No real countdown per se, but it is just a watch list. And at the end of the season, we'll do the actual countdown. By the way, you see that gentleman right there in the T-shirt?
Which one?
With the beard?
Oh, yeah.
That's my guy, Nate. Nate is probably, he and his wife are probably the best competition barbecue team in the state.
And he's out here.
And he's out here checking it out.
Sniffing around.
Like, this dude and his wife, not only they know barbecue, they produce great barbecue.
We also have the great Grizzfather right here.
Yes.
The great Grizzfather is in the house, and he's mowing down some ribs. I had my buddy Zach, who does a lot of competitive smoking and barbecuing.
Yeah.
He came in, and you know what's awesome is to see all these high-end barbecue minds. First of all, they love to come and sniff around a little bit.
Yeah.
They like the different flavors to see if they get a profile that maybe they can implement. But second of all, I've had 5 people tell me, we just don't have barbecue in this area.
No.
They don't. There's not a good home-style classic barbecue joint. And by the way, this all Texas blend barbecue in this area. So people are excited. They're coming in and they're going to try Kenny J's, and I'm going to promise you're going to love it.
Yeah, I absolutely feel comfortable doing that as well. All right, it is time for our next selection in our top 60 in 60 watch list. Let's go back to the U-Hands. Let's talk about a tight end, Dallen Bentley.
Dallen Bentley played his best football this past spring. He's a prototypical inline tight end. He can do it all. He can block, he can catch, and he will be a guy that is a big part of our offense this fall.
So Dallen Bentley, I love his story because he's a self-made man. Dallen Bentley came out of Taylorsville High School, and he went to Snow College. He tears it up at Snow College. He ends up getting All-American bids at the JUCO level. He gets an opportunity to come in 2023 to University of Utah. 2024 plays in all 12 games, starts the final 7, and blows things up and sets the expectation for 2025. So anybody that doesn't know who Dallen Bentley is, you're definitely going to learn the name right out of the gates, because you got Freddie Whittingham, who has become very well known throughout the country for his tight ends. Now, what's interesting is, let's see what Jason Beck does in tandem with Jim Harding and Freddie Whittingham.
Yeah.
Because Andy Ludwig worked one way with Freddie, and Freddie's now worked with, 4 different offensive
it seems
coordinators?
Like it. Yeah.
I think he's been there through 4 different offensive coordinators. And Freddie has been able to push his way in on most of the coordinators, saying, when we get the mismatch, we're going to dominate with it. Jason Beck is a very smart coordinator. If he sees Dallen Bentley as a constant threat, then you could see 2 to 4 catches a game for Dallen Bentley. You could see that 58 to 60 all the way up to 85 to 100 yard and a touchdown performance per game from Dallen Bentley.
Utah went from a place where tight ends went to die to becoming tight end U.
Yeah.
Over the last several years. You cannot lose that tradition, because that is one thing that I think Utah should always be able to recruit at a high level, is good quality, athletic, dual threat tight ends that can block and can receive downfield. And Dallen Bentley fits that mold, and I hope that's one thing that does not change offensively from the University of Utah, is their ability to use tight ends and use them as not just a threat, but as an absolute weapon on their team.
And I think Coach Witt said inline. Did he say inline?
Yes, inline. Yep.
So just so everybody understands, Dallen goes probably 270, maybe 275. When we're talking inline, We're talking about big-time ability on a jumbo set, 2 tight ends, on motion, on anything that you want at the line. You need to get any D lineman moved. You need to be able to catch a linebacker, an oversized linebacker, and hook and claw. Dallen Bentley's your guy. So I'm excited for him.
Hans and Scotty, a little whole world news coming up next. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.